Hello and welcome to another fascinating episode. Now, for those of you who were watching on Facebook just literally a couple of minutes ago, thank you so much for tuning in for watching. So this is the continuation of that live broadcast. Now, because of this location, we can't do a live broadcast from actually in here because there's just no telephone signal whatsoever. So we've got to do a pre-recorded message or pre-recorded video recording from this location. So for those of you who are watching this, and just bear with me while I adjust. So for those of you who were watching the live broadcast from this location, thank you so much for tuning in, for watching in. So as I mentioned, and for those of you who are watching for the first time, maybe you didn't see a live broadcast and you're tuning in for the first time. So this is a pre-recorded message or video message from our next location. So welcome to episode 24. So as always, thank you for tuning in, for watching. I said welcome to episode 24 of Influence of the Times as we continue to go in search of Britain's most abandoned and derelict places. So where am we? Okay, so we are probably about, I would say, between 9 and 12 miles outside of Birmingham city centre, and we're southwest of the town of Birmingham. So we're about southwest, about 9 to 12 miles away from Birmingham city centre, and we're just a couple of minutes away. We're about 5-10 minutes away from the town centre we're at. So we're at a place called Redditch. So we're about 5-10 minutes walk away from Redditch town centre, and we're here now. This, believe it or not, is what's left of the Redditch Railway Tunnel, which is where we am today. Okay. So just to give you a little bit of history, and then we'll go into the tunnel, because obviously it's in a live broadcast already, but I'll give you a bit of history for those of you who didn't watch the live broadcast. Redditch Abandoned Railway Tunnel was originally built in 1858. In 1858. That's when it was originally built. And it was completed in 1859, so it took just over 18 months to build. Now, it doesn't say how much the tunnel cost to build, but it says it took just over 18 months to build this tunnel. The purpose of this tunnel was to connect Birmingham, obviously, to Redditch, but also to connect Burnt Green, Evesham and Aldchurch. So that was the whole purpose behind it, was to connect those. Now, I'm at the south end of the tunnel, which would have been where it would have connected the Redditch end. So we're at the Redditch end of the tunnel. At the north end, which is where Burnt Green would have been, and out that way towards Evesham, that would have been at the north end, which is where we're going to be walking up to in a little while. Okay, so that's kind of to give you that now. The tunnel itself is about 330 yards long, so it's actually quite short, even though it's pitch black, and actually when you walk up the tunnel, it's quite long. It's only 330 yards long. Now, if you compare it to Coseley Tunnel, Coseley Tunnel is neither abandoned nor derelict. It's one of Birmingham's most well-known, notorious canal tunnels. That's about 360 yards long, so this is 30 yards shorter than Coseley Tunnel. Now, if you combine that, just to kind of give you an idea of the size difference, now Netherton Tunnel is another one of Birmingham's most notorious and well-known canal tunnels. That's neither abandoned nor derelict. That's 1.7 miles long. That's just over 1.5 miles long. So you could probably fit about 5 or 5.5 of these inside of Netherton Tunnel. So just kind of give you an idea. So it's actually quite short in comparison. Now, there's no railway line left here whatsoever. The railway line is completely gone, and it's actually quite nice because it's dry all the way to the other end. Okay, so we'll have a look. Now, the other end is completely sealed off. You can only get in one way. So the other end is completely concreted and bricked up and sealed off. But I don't think I'll take you in there. Or what I might do is like a little tunnel thing that you kind of crawl through, and then you've got like a metal ladder that goes up to a manhole cover, which is obviously sealed, and that actually comes out by the bus depot or the bus station near the town centre of Redditch. So this tunnel runs underneath Redditch itself. Now, the idea was to build a tunnel wide enough for 2 railway lines. However, the reason why they stuck to a single line tunnel was because in order to build a tunnel big enough for 2, it would have meant having to slightly change the way in which they did things. Okay, so they would have had to have, not only would they have had to have made the tunnel wider, which would have meant more materials and things, so it wasn't really a financial situation, it was more of it was kind of like the amount of soil and the amount of dirt and just the kind of headache, if you like, of building the tunnel wide enough for two. So they opted to stick with a single lined tunnel. And you can probably see just by, if I just tilt the camera up a bit, you can probably see, if I just tilt the camera up a bit, by the shape of the tunnel, rather than an arch, as Dudley Tunnel is, it's more of an oval shape. And that's simply because it was only wide enough for one tunnel. So that's kind of how it kind of stayed as a single lined tunnel, really, was because to build two railway lines would have meant changing the plans. It would have meant changing the plans, changing the way in which they built the tunnel, making it wider. And I think they also came up with a bit of a problem with, to build, I think for some reason, to build a second line, they would have had to have changed this end of the tunnel to a different place, and I just don't think it was practical, and so they just kept it to this one. Now directly behind us, you can't see, is I'll say what's left. The railway line would have been directly behind you, and there's nothing there, it's gone, but there's just kind of like this little valley with like trees and bushes on either side, and you can just see where the railway line would have once been. Okay, but there's nothing there, it's just woodlands and a kind of a path, and then it goes to the road. Okay, so it's 330 yards long. Like I said, it was built in 1858, finished in 1859, and opened in around 1863, so that's when the first freight trains used the tunnel, and then passenger trains used it until the 1960s. So about 1963-ish, somewhere around there, that's when this tunnel actually stopped being used. So it's been abandoned for about 50 years or more. It's quite a long time in comparison to Dudley Tunnel, that's only been abandoned for, say, 20 odd years. So there's a bit of a difference. So it's been abandoned for quite a long time. Now I'm going to give my eyes a rest in a minute, because I'm obviously looking at the light and it's quite bright. I just want to, before it gets any darker, I just want to give you a really good look. So that's all the information I can really kind of give you. Now, all the information about this tunnel, I've tried to memorise, but obviously I've been quite sketchy and quite vague, simply because of the time. So what I will do, I will, along with all the photographs that I've taken to date in this tunnel, and all the information about the tunnel will be on my website at some point. Okay, so over the next day or two. So this video recording will be on Facebook as well as YouTube. The photographs will be on Facebook as well. But all the kind of information will be on my website at some point over the next couple of days. And you're more than welcome to Google Redditch Abandoned Railway Tunnel anyway. So how's about I stop yapping and we go and take a look. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn the camera around so you can see what it's like, then we're going to go and have a look. So let me just turn around so you can get an idea. That's better. It's kind of giving my eyes a bit of a rest. Now I've brought my torch with me because it is really dark. So let's just get my torch ready. And like I said, we can have a look. Okay, so we've got the torch. So how's about we go and have an investigate? And like I said, we can kind of see. So you can just see. It's kind of like an oval shape, so you can see we're going to go all the way to the end. Alright, so let's go for a walk. Just give my eyes a rest so you can see the things in the window. With things in the window, there's little notices on the wall. I don't know if they're miles an hour, if they're like speed limit signs. It might well be. Just going to have a look. So you can see on the floor, if I just show you, there's like, it's not actually too bad. It's kind of just like stones and stuff really. But you can see the railway line would have been kind of just here. So you've got what's left of like the ballast in certain places. Let's go take a look. I'll take you right to the other end, so you can see how dark it is. So you can see there's one that says 19, so maybe they're like feet markers or something like that. So there you've got like the passing stations. So you can see like the passing stations there. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold the camera steady because I don't want it to kind of flop. But if you have a look, I don't know if you can, there you go. Look. So you can kind of get an idea of, it's quite a narrow tunnel, it's not very wide, but obviously it was only big enough for one railway line. So let's go in. And the nice thing about this tunnel is it's nice and dry. So I'm going to worry too much about water. so you can kind of see like all the lime scale running down the walls. Just to kind of give you a look. So you can see there's the other end. There's like the markers you can see on the floor. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going, that's my breath, we are going, we're going up there, alright. Okay, so let's go for a walk. So we've got another passing station. So look, all that lime scale on the wall. Like a great big, it's almost like a waterfall of lime scale. And like, it's almost like rust. Look at that. You've got like another passing station there, look. Just there. And then you've got another marker. So I reckon they were markers. And if you look, this is just, that's just wood. Now you can see just how cold it is in here. Can you see how that's sparkling? Can you just see how it's like glistening on the walls? That is frost. That's how cold it is in this tunnel. It is absolutely freezing. And it's been covered in like ice and frost, and it's literally, the wall is just literally sparkling. You can't really see it on the camera. If I move it away, can you see how it's just sparkling? That is literally just like frost. See it? It's like ice and frost. So everything's covered in this beautiful kind of twinkly, almost like little diamonds. And it goes all the way up. And we're going in there. Let's go. I have to say, folks, I had to not so much pluck the courage up, but I was a little bit nervous about coming in here today simply because I haven't been in a place this dark since Dudley Tunnel. And obviously we did Netherton Tunnel at night time, and we did Dudley Tunnel twice. We did it during the day and at night time, and I have to say I was a little bit nervous about coming in here today simply because it's in another dark place, and you can see just how dark it is. Now my torch, I'll just show you, my torch is on full beam, and even that can't reach. No, but you can't see. I'm shining it right at the other end. So that's how dark it is. So let me just turn it around so you can see. So there's the end. Now the tunnel does curve slightly. But I want to show you as much as I can. So there you go. It's kind of like, it is quite narrow. You can just see it. Here's one side and the other side. So it's quite a narrow tunnel. You've got these little manhole covers, but they would have been covered up. So you've got like, it's like a wooden beam on that wall. The one that was covered in like frost. I don't know what that was used for, but it runs quite far. Anyway. I want to take you all the way to the end, because I really do want to show you what it's like in here. It is absolutely freezing in this tunnel. It is, I can't tell you how cold it is. My hands are frozen. You can tell just by how cold it is by my breath. So there's another passing station there. So you've got like bricks. So you've got like a manhole cover. And that water runs all the way to the other end, and we'll be able to climb through, and I'll be able to show you in a minute where that goes. That's like all the water from outside, and it also obviously runs. It would have run underneath the railway lines. Game of tennis? Anybody? No? It's like a tennis ball there. So you can you see how almost like the shape of the road where the railway line would have been is kind of still there a bit. But you can see how it's covered in frost. If I just take you up, can you see? I wonder if you can see it there, look. Can you see it's all like glistening? drawn out the frost because it is just so cold. Oh. Oh dear. So we're now heading up. There's another marker. So there's another passing station there. And you can just about see the other end. If I kind of go... Oh. See it? That little tiny white dot? That's the other end. So it does, like I said, the tunnel does curve slightly. Okay. Let's walk. Just try and keep the torch by the camera so you can see. I'm trying to hold things as steady as I can. So I'm sorry if it's a bit wobbly, or if you can't really see a lot. Wow, oh, let me just show you this bit here, look at that. You can see how the ice has made it all sparkly. It goes all the way up to there. It's like a whole wall of limescale. It runs all the way down. It's just covered the entire wall. Okay, let's walk up here a bit more. Oh, so cold. I just wish I had a more powerful torch. Because what I can see is not necessarily what you can. It's the tunnel. The tunnel. I wonder if I got... I think it's on the brightest bit, so you can't even see. The end of the tunnel is right up there. You can't even see it. So that's the other end up there somewhere. It's literally pitch black. Okay, let's go. So you can see lots of limescale. Like lots and lots and lots. So this is where it gets quite wet up here. So once we get past this bit, we're almost at the other end. I just want to try and... There we go. As you can see, like, it's just covered. The whole wall is just covered. Totally covered. Let's just take you up here. Okay. So we're almost at the other end already. Oh. So what I'm going to have to do is just walk on this bit of... Just kind of walk up here, because it's really wet and... Oh, let's look at that, look. It's covered. Just loads and loads of it, look. Just covered it. Okay, so let's keep walking. Okay, so this is where it's quite a lot of water on the floor. That's better. Okay. So I just want to... There we go, so we're almost at the end. This is the passing station, look. Oh, I am so cold. Freezing. My nose is running. Oh. So you can see... Just up ahead is, see that? That's the other end of the tunnel. So let's go and have a look. I'll just keep it on there for you. Okay. So, if you walk through there, actually just go and have a look. I'll just take you through and you can see what I mean. So if we just walk through here, if I stand down in, So you can see a ladder, and then he goes up into a manhole cover up there. That's what comes up at the bus station. But yeah, should climb through there. So let's just walk. Let's just climb back through here, back into the tunnel. Ah, there we go. Oh. So we are as far as we can get. So we've literally come to the north end of the tunnel and it's completely blocked off. You can see they've sealed it. Totally sealed it off. A football. In case anybody gets bored in here, you can have a game of football. And obviously that's the little thing that you can go through. So yeah, this is it. This is Redditch Abandoned Railway Tunnel. But you can kind of see what it's like. Fascinating. And yes, the other end is up there. Somewhere. So I'm going to switch my torch off just to give it a rest, because I don't want it to run out of battery. And I'm going to change hands because my hands are freezing. They're cold. So there we go. So I kind of give you. So now you can see what it's like in here without a torch. I just wish it was brighter. So there we go. Redditch Abandoned Railway Tunnel. So hopefully you found this interesting. I'm not going to keep this recording as we go back out of the tunnel, simply because I've already used quite a lot of memory on my mobile phone, and I obviously don't want to use up all my memory, because what will happen is it will just cut out altogether. So I'm going to end this kind of video, if you like, here. So, but hopefully you found it interesting. It doesn't take that long to walk to the other end. It probably takes about 10 minutes. So yeah, so that's it really. Hopefully, like I said, you found it interesting. At least you could kind of get an idea and see what it's actually like inside what was Redditch Railway Tunnel, which is now totally abandoned and derelict and has been for about 50 years or more. But you can see it is absolutely pitch black. Like I said, that's looking back towards where we came from, and it's absolutely just pitch black. So you can imagine if you had no light, it would just be utter darkness, just like Dudley Tunnel. And yeah, I don't feel too bad, I have to say, because I'm talking and looking at the camera and things. I actually don't feel too bad at all. It's not until you actually look into the darkness that's when it kind of makes you apprehensive, really, because it's just this darkness. So thank you so much for watching, for tuning in, and for watching episode 24 in the Influence of the Time series, and for coming with me as we explored this fascinating abandoned and derelict tunnel just outside Redditch. Join me again as we do another live episode, and as we'll be doing another pre-recorded or another kind of video message very soon on Facebook, and hopefully on YouTube. I'll be putting all the live episodes, so if we do another, like our next live episode, will be very, very soon, in the next couple of weeks, certainly next month in March for sure. I've got some time off work, so we're definitely going to be going to another location, and so I'll be doing another live broadcast, and I'll be able to put that onto YouTube. So hopefully you'll stay tuned and keep watching. Subscribe to Influence of the Times, by the way. All you've got to do, everything's free, nothing costs any money. All you've got to do is go onto YouTube, search for Influence of the Times, sign into YouTube if you've got a YouTube account, or even just register with YouTube, create one. It's free of charge. And then so I can hear a rat. I can hear it squeaking. Anyway, I'm going to finish. So all you've got to do is subscribe, and then you can search for Influence of the Times YouTube channel and just subscribe. So please subscribe to my channel. It would be amazing, and you'll be able to be notified then every time I put a video message onto YouTube. So until then, from me and from this fascinating abandoned railway tunnel, you take care and stay safe. And I look forward to speaking to you and seeing you very soon from our next location. So until the next time, goodbye for now. I'll give you one last look at this tunnel, by the way. Give my eyes a rest. Bye for now. Bye. Because I'm going blind. See ya.